The Legal Services Division of the Legislative Services Agency, or LSA, provides bill and amendment drafting services to members of the General Assembly and to executive branch agencies and the Governor's Office. The division provides these services on a nonpartisan, confidential basis. This video is intended to generally describe the bill drafting process from the submission of a bill request to the delivery of the request to the bill sponsor. Legislation is initiated through the bill request process. Bill requests may be submitted to the LSA on printed forms or online through the Bill Management System, or BMS. Requests on a printed form must contain the sponsor's signature. If a legislator delegates authority, a caucus staffer may submit a bill request on behalf of the legislator through BMS. Additionally, legislators and caucus staff may submit a bill request by asking a bill drafter to enter the request on their behalf. Such requests can be made orally or through email. When submitting a bill request, the person submitting the request must identify whether the bill request is confidential or not, provide all relevant and necessary bill drafting instructions, and identify sources for additional information or direction. After the request is submitted, the Legal Division Director assigns indexing terms and a working title to the request. The bill is then assigned to a bill drafter and a bill editor who specialize in the subject matter area of the request. After assignments are made, the request moves to the LSA Bill Room, where a bill identifier called an LSB number is assigned. If the request is a paper request, the bill room scans the bill request and supporting information and includes the information in the electronic bill file. After this work is done, the request appears in the drafter's electronic bill drafting queue. For quality control purposes and higher efficiency, work on a bill is divided among 4 groups of staff: bill drafters, bill editors, text processors, and proofreaders. Multiple interfaces are used depending on the user and the skills of the user. Bill drafters exclusively use Microsoft Word to draft bills and folio views to search the code, while text processors use an XML editor application called ArborText to interact with the official code base and create the final bill product. In ArborText, through the use of tagging, metadata is added to bills for purposes of auto-generation of tables, engrossment of bills and amendments, and code editing. If drafters were required to work in ArborText, the bill drafting process would be slowed down and the chance of errors would increase. Additionally, allowing drafters access to the official code base increases the chances of corruption of the code base. As a number of different work groups are involved in the production of legislation, a set workflow is observed. For an experienced bill drafter, the bill begins with the bill drafter, then moves back and forth between the text processors and proofers, then moves to the editor for editing, and back to the drafter to respond to the editor's edits, and finally goes back to the text processors and proofers one more time to be finalized. For a complicated bill or a bill for which the sponsor makes changes in the request, a bill draft may circulate back through the entire loop as many times as the bill drafter and editor deem necessary for quality control purposes. New drafters are required to receive an initial edit prior to routing to the text processors. Let's take a moment to discuss the duties and process used by each of the work groups involved in the production of legislation. After reviewing the bill request, completing initial research, and asking necessary questions for direction from the sponsor or others at the direction of the sponsor, the bill drafter begins to draft. The 3 primary tools used by bill drafters in the production of a bill draft are Microsoft Word, folio views for searching, viewing, and copying the unofficial code database, and previously processed bills and amendments. Much of the time, a bill must be drafted from scratch using Microsoft Word. A menu of templates is used to ensure uniform bill section lead-ins and special provisions, including effective date and applicability provisions. Some templates include coding designed to instruct the text processors regarding the type of metadata tagging to be used for a particular provision of a bill. Sometimes a previously processed bill can be used as a base document for a bill draft. However, in using such a document, the bill drafter must be cautious in reviewing whether the code base in the previously processed document is current and whether any changes must be made. Using a previously processed bill draft decreases the production time for each work group in the bill production process. As a third option for bill drafting, a bill drafter may use a combination of new language in a Microsoft Word document with inserts from a previously processed bill draft. During the bill drafting process, the bill drafter may contact the bill sponsor or persons designated by the bill sponsor for additional directions or to address unforeseen questions that have arisen during the bill drafting process. When a bill drafter has completed their work, the bill drafter saves the work electronically in the link dashboard and assigns the bill to the text processing unit. When processing a bill for the first time, the text processor, or TP, confirms the sponsor and LSB number suffix against the bill drafting request form. Next, the TP will use the drafter's rough draft to build the bill in ArborText. Depending on the information provided by the drafter, the TP will create the bill sections by cloning text from a previous bill, pulling in existing code from the official code base, or copying and pasting text to create new code sections and subunits. Any handwritten edits from the drafter/editor are then transferred and necessary strikes and underscores are applied. Next, the TP will update bill section metadata, set effective and applicability dates, run spell check, and apply page and line numbers. The bill is then saved in link and routed to proofreading electronically along with a hard copy of the drafter's rough draft. A two-person proofreading team uses the hard copy of the drafter's rough draft to proofread against the TP's electronic copy. The team will verify the bill sponsor and companion information added by the TP. Any new content is read in its entirety, and proofreaders ensure the bill meets LSA style guidelines in relation to items such as code hierarchy, bill section order, grammar, and punctuation. For sections cloned from a previous bill, the first and last few words of each unit are read to check that the correct content is present and in order. Proofreaders then annotate any corrections or suggested changes to the electronic file in link. If the bill needs additional work by the drafter and the editor, the bill is routed to the editor. If the bill is completed, the final version is routed to the bill room. Occasionally, a final version will need to be sent back to text processing for corrections, and TPs may need to contact legal staff for approval of changes before being sent on to the bill room. When an editor receives a bill, the editor is doing three types of edits simultaneously. They are doing a stylistic edit, a technical edit, and a substantive edit. Stylistic editing includes grammar, punctuation, capitalization, and word usage. Technical editing includes bill order, bill section lead-ins, code hierarchy, code placement, use of the proper code base, and inclusion of necessary conforming code changes and internal references. Substantive editing relates to the proper use of definitions, conformity with the bill request instructions and direction, constitutional considerations, statutory considerations, legal accuracy, and penalty and other special provisions. Additionally, editors are evaluating the bill title for completeness, brevity, style, and constitutional considerations, the bill explanation for objectiveness, conciseness, and accuracy, and the bill for overall consistency, clarity, and brevity. Edits are entered in one of two manners. The editor can enter the edits directly on an electronic version of the draft using a PDF annotator and then saving the edited version in the link dashboard, or the edits can be handwritten on a hard copy of the draft, after which the edits are converted to an electronic format and stored in the link dashboard. Once the drafter and editor have determined that the bill is complete and text processors and proofreaders have completed their work, the final version of the bill is sent to the LSA Bill Room. At this point, the bill room sends an electronic notification through the portal notifying the bill sponsor and any person with delegated authority that the bill is ready for approval. After the sponsor approves the bill through the portal, the bill room packages the bill by sending the sponsor the necessary paper copies, which are then submitted to appropriate chamber staff or taken to a committee meeting. If changes are needed to the bill, the sponsor rejects the bill through the portal and then communicates those changes to the drafter. Once the changes are incorporated, the bill room will again notify the sponsor that the bill is ready for approval, and once approved, a new package will be sent to the sponsor.